Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Are you ready for the fastest video I ever have done? Because I have to leave my house in 20 minutes, but I wanted to do this really quick because I'm about to fuck everything up. So, a couple weeks ago, I did a project pan video for 2019 and I decided to change it all. So, I decided I'm actually going to do the pan 19 in 2019. So yeah, I'm just going to start and show you guys what I'm going to be working on for the entire year, and just if you saw my other project pan video, just let that memory float away. That one is non-existent. I have kept some of the same products, some of them I've changed. I kind of watched some more of these videos and decided that a few things need to change. So yeah. All right, ready? Here we go. Okay, so I will start with primers. I actually have 3 of them because I tend to buy new primers a lot because I still need something that is working great for me, which I haven't really found yet. But there are a few that I'm going to try to pan in 2019. So let me just clear some space here so I don't mix anything up. This one was in my last video. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Primer. I would say there's still a decent amount left in here, at least half. So that is the first primer I'm going to be working on. The next one is this e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. It's really hard to tell how much is in here, but I mean, it's fairly new, so yeah, I like this one. I just feel like I need something pore filling to go along with it, but my skin is really dry and this has helped with hydration, but I have so many primers that I need to just make sure I use these up. And then the last primer I have is the Rimmel Stay Matte makeup primer, and this one, I do like this one. It's not my favorite, but this is probably the most used out of the 3 that I have, but I haven't been reaching for this one as much, so I do want to make sure I finish this one up before I buy another one. So yeah, those are my 3 primers. I've got 2 foundations, and I actually replaced one with a different one just because the other one I had in there was my Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation, and I did not like that foundation in the summer because it was too oily on my face. I just didn't like the way it sat on my skin, and I've tried it now. It's too dark for me. I've tried mixing it with other foundations, and I just really don't like it, and I don't see myself really reaching for it that much, even if it's in my project pan. So I want to make sure I'm doing things that I at least somewhat like. So I have a few foundations in my collection, but I have 2 that I want to make sure I use. The first one is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. This was in my other video too, I believe. This one is still pretty full. I mean, it's about, you can kind of see if my light wasn't glaring off of it, it's about up to here. Yeah, this one I actually really like for more natural makeup days. This one is really nice. It sits well on the skin. It has SPF 20, which is good. So I want to make sure I use this one up because this is a more expensive drugstore foundation. I don't know. And then the other one is the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. And this one, it's hard to tell how much is in here. I do like this foundation. I still have not found a foundation that I'm like in love with, that gives the coverage that I want, that doesn't break me out, that doesn't, you know, crease too bad or leave in my wrinkles. So I'm still working on that, but I do actually like this foundation, and I do want to make sure I use it up just because I did spend the money on it. So this one is going to be in here as well. And I also have 2 concealers. These are the same 2 that were in my other project pan. I have the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer. This one I would say is at least halfway gone. This one I don't think I'll have an issue getting through. And actually, this one I had standing upright so you can kind of see where the line is. There's not too much left in my Maybelline Fit Me, but I've had this one for a very long time, and I want to make sure I use it up before it goes bad because this is one of my oldest concealers, and I just find myself not reaching for it as much. I don't get the coverage that I would like under my under eyes with this concealer, but I do kind of like to use it to highlight the other parts of my face. So that's what I'm going to kind of be reaching for this one for. The next thing I have is this Tartiste Pro Glow liquid highlighter. So this was given to me, and I actually do like this liquid highlighter. I just always forget to put this on before I set my face, and I'm afraid to use it afterwards because I'm afraid it's gonna mess up my powders and stuff. So I want to use this up because I've had it for a decent amount of time, and I want to utilize this before this goes bad. And then the next cream product, this one was in my other project pan. This is my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Dual Ended Contour Stick. I have about this much, I have this much on this end. And then I do use this end sometimes, but not as much. I'm more focused on the other end of this stick. I really have been enjoying cream contouring lately, so I don't think this will be that hard for me to go through, especially in the entire year. So this was in my other project pan as well. This is my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and I'm working on the contour shade. I don't expect to hit pan on this. I don't really use this side at all, but I do like the contour shade on this side, so this is what I'm hoping to hit pan on for that. And I don't know, I know everything's super hard to see. There is like a tiny little dent in there. I mean, barely anything. So this is the contour powder I want to work on using up for the year. And next I have this NYX Studio Photogenic HD Finishing Powder, and this is just a loose powder, and I'm still deciding if I like this powder or not because it's a little weird. I'm wearing a lot of these products today. I did a lot of my makeup using as many of these as I could. And I do have this powder on today, and I feel like this is a powder that makes your skin look like you don't really have a powder on, which is nice because I really like the Airspun powder, but that one you can kind of tell like your face is a little powdery. This one you can't really tell because it's so finely milled, but it's so weird because this powder is white, but the one thing I notice is once I cover this with over my concealer and my foundation, it kind of makes my whole skin tone look the same. So my eyes are no longer bright underneath. It's kind of like the same color throughout my entire face. So that's one thing that is really weird, is that it takes away the brightness under my eyes from my concealer. So that's one thing I'm not really sure about, but I'll probably use this for, you know, some of my face. It's just something I bought and I want to use it. Next I have this Smashbox Blush Trio. I don't really know what shade I want to hit pan on, but I know that, let me do it this way. I'll do it like the real guru way. I know that I do want to hit pan on at least one of these, and actually I'm wearing this blush today as well, and it can be super subtle, which I like, and I actually kind of just run my brush across all three of these. Sometimes, that's what I did today, sometimes I do that. This one has a little bit of a glow to it, so it depends, you know, what look I'm looking for, but it gives a very natural glow. It's not like glittery or anything. And then we have a more cool tone and a more like bright pink, so I don't know. I'm not really sure what shade I want to hit pan on, but I would like to make some good progress on this palette. And next I have, this was in my project pan video as well, this is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and this has been my favorite bronzer, and there's a little dent in it, and like some of the waves on top are like gone. It's hard to see. I'll try to get some good pictures. I'm thinking I'll do like quarterly check-ins with all of this stuff, but yeah, this bronzer I reach for pretty often anyway, so I don't think this is going to be hard, but I feel like pressed powders are going to be the hardest thing to get through, and I'm a little bit worried about the blush just because I feel like, you know, powders take a long time, but I really don't try out that many new blushes. I kind of just go through what I already have, so I feel like I can make this blush palette work with enough looks that I'll be okay. And the next thing I have is this Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is 10 Be My Light Highlight, and I have barely used anything in this. There's no dent in it or nothing. I did put this on today. It's a very natural, pretty highlighter. It's not shimmery. It's just makes you look very natural, and I don't reach for this because I have a lot of other like blinding highlighters, but I should start to reach for this more because I did buy this because I wanted to start wearing more natural highlighter, and for some reason I haven't really gravitated toward it, and I kind of want to try these working together too and see what they're like. So I don't know that I will hit pan on this highlighter this year, but I do plan on making some good progress in it. Alright, so I'm actually going to have two eyeshadow palettes, but I kind of want to explain my goals for the eyeshadow palettes before I tell you what they are. So I have put eyeshadow palettes in here because I don't plan on going and buying tons and tons and tons and tons of eyeshadow palettes just because I can't afford it, and I want to be able to work with what I have. So the eyeshadow palettes that I show you guys, I don't necessarily want to hit pan on every single shade in the palette. It's just, I would like to make good progress on these palettes, and I would like to maybe hit pan on a few shades, which I think it could easily be doable. One palette I actually ordered and I'm still waiting for, which this is a gamble because I don't know if I'm actually going to like it or not because, you know, it hasn't arrived yet. But the first one is the Chasing Rainbows palette by ColourPop. I have put quite a dent in this even since I got it. I don't know if you can tell, there's like a dent in these two shades here. The yellow's getting used up. There's these colors. So, I mean, I have been using this quite a bit and I do like the formula. I like the colors, but there are some that I know for sure I'm not going to hit pan on because I don't set my eyeshadow. I don't really use browns. But if I can make good progress on a lot of colors in this palette because I did purchase it and I really, really, really want to utilize the products that I have. So this I want to make sure I continue to use along with my James Charles Morphe palette, which is currently on the way. Well, it hasn't shipped yet. I just ordered it yesterday when it restocked. So yesterday was the 3rd. I just ordered it yesterday. Literally had an alarm set. I know, okay, I want to say this and I'll say it when I make my review too. I know that it has been controversy over this palette. I know that there have been many things going on, but I don't care. And I don't want to hear about it in the comments. I don't want to hear about how I'm a bad person because I bought this palette. I don't want to hear any shit talking. I'm buying the palette because I have loved the reviews and the looks that I've seen made from this palette, and I have been wanting to explore more with color and do different things, and I feel like that palette has everything that I will need. Combined with this and a couple other colorful palettes I have, I can create so many looks, and my goal is to keep this as condensed as possible. I don't want to have tons of things lying around that I don't use because I hate that feeling. And I also have another colorful palette on the way as well. That one I'm not putting in my project pan just because I really don't know how I'm gonna like that one. I haven't seen many reviews about it. It's from a much smaller company and it actually should be here tonight, so hopefully I'll have a video up on that one soon. But yeah, so for eyeshadow I have the Chasing Rainbows palette and my James Charles palette, which has not arrived. And moving on to lips, I have two things. I have my Essence Soft Contouring Lip Pencil in Big Proposal. This I have sharpened a couple times. I really like this. I use this with many different lip colors and it works really well. And why do I need so many freaking lip liners? I don't. I'm fine with this one. I wear a lot of nudes. This is a great nude lip liner. Did I say what color this is in? It's in Big Proposal. I think I said that already. I don't know. I'm moving too fast for my brain. Okay. And next I have the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream in the shade Adorable. So I have tried a handful of different formulas of lip products, and I don't know what it is. I love this color. It's what I have on right now with that lip liner, and I love this color. Don't mind, I know I messed up the edges. I had to overline a little bit, but I love the color on my lips, and also it stays on so nice. It doesn't crumble like a lot of other liquid lipsticks I have. Like I have an ABH liquid lipstick that I love the color for. It's like an even lighter nude, but after I have it on for like a half an hour, it starts to crumble off my lips and I just hate that feeling. This doesn't transfer. It stays on really, really well, and I just really like the color. I feel like I can pair it with tons of different things, so I feel like I can make my way through this in 2019. And I have one more thing. That's it. That should be 19 products. If it's not, sorry. Then whatever number this is, I'm panning in 2019. Okay? So the last thing is, I really only used this once today because I just bought it. This is the Maybelline Master Fix Wear Boosting Setting Spray. Locks in makeup, long-lasting finish. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody use this setting spray, and I needed a new one. I was at the store and I had bought a Little Wet n Wild one, like the Photo Focus, and I really, really liked that one, but I feel like it went really fast because the bottle was so small, so I wanted something a little bit bigger, and I picked this up. Like I said, this is my first time wearing it. It seems to have set my face down fine, but I just want to make sure I get through this. Like, I don't need to have a billion setting sprays sitting around, so I want to make sure I get through this. And then another thing that I want to try to do, and I think it will be fine. So any product that I finish, like say I finish this setting spray, when I do my update, I will replace this setting spray with whatever one I'm currently using, because I want to make sure I'm just getting through the things that I have that I haven't used up yet. So same with, well, okay, primers, maybe not. It depends which one I use, because if I finish my Rimmel one, I'm going to get a different pore filling primer because these ones aren't really pore filling, and I will add that into my project pan, if that makes sense. And same with like concealer, I'll add another one in, or cream contour. So I don't think any of the pressed powders will be completely finished by the end of the year, but any of this other stuff that might be a little bit easier to get through, especially if I'm reaching for it daily to try to complete this project, I will just pick whatever setting spray I'm using next and add that in. So I'm working on 19 items throughout the entire year of 2019. And let me just count these really quick to make sure I had 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And my James Charles palette is 19. That is awesome. Okay, so I know that I'm like totally fucking everything up by doing this, but I kind of was looking at the stuff in my project pan. I had already finished the setting spray I had in there, and there was just stuff that I just didn't want to use, and I feel like I just put in there because I felt like I had to. But realistically, I have enough foundations to go through that I don't even think I'm going to use that Flower Beauty one anymore. It's just not for me. It doesn't work for me with dry skin, doesn't work for me with oily skin. So that one's just bye. So anyway, I need to wrap up this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're not super pissed at me for changing everything up, but this is just what I felt like I needed to do for me and to keep myself up on not spending a ton of money this year, because I just can't. I can't do it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel while you're here, and I'll see you next time.